Local action from East London is proudly brought to you by G&H Transport, Engine, Primex Unleaded, and Bridgestone Tyres. The most picturesque circuit in the country, and one of the fastest as well. East London Grand Prix circuit and the next round of the Extreme Festival. And big crowds have come out, and it's so good to see. They're all coming to see the G&H Transport Extreme Supercars and the rest of the Extreme Festival. In the Supercars, a small field has come down here, but a very competitive one. We've got 4 BMWs that are definitely going to run at the front end with the Ferrari of Jonathan du Toit. But the local man, Darren Goodmans, is definitely a man not to take out of the equation. It's a rolling start. Looks like Jonathan du Toit is trying to get away from the field as early as possible. Paul Hill trying to close him down. Look out for Gianni Giannacora coming from the back of the field. Didn't quite go according to plan in qualifying, and already a problem for the Calex BMW of Paul Hill. Looks like he's got a box full of nothing there, trying to find some kind of gears as he heads down towards Potter's Pass. The rest of the field already through there. Mark du Toit taking up the tail gunner roll on the back end of Thiessen's BMW. And you can see Gianni Giannacora battling a little bit to get past there on Aldo Scrivanti. The lead is all about Jono du Toit, and Ricky Giannacora is up to second. Goodman's up to third, and then you got Jimbo Giannacora defending Scribanti as they go down towards Cochabana. Gianni has a big look. He'll probably have the extra squirt down the straight, but that four-wheel drive system will come into play. And Mark du Toit, fortunately, has no answer here to anybody. He's just sitting comfortable and trying to get as many points in the bag here. A couple of cars who didn't quite make it out. Davi Olifia had some issues in the baby Beamer. Kish Patamba also with some problems in his big BMW M3. As they come through for the first time, it's great to see the complex full of people. They were expecting to see Dino Scribanti out there as well, but unfortunately his Porsche also gave up the ghost. Going through the complex, you can see already some pressure being applied there from Mark du Toit, trying to find a way through on Thiessen. And just behind, looks like Paul Hill has got his car sorted out. Up to the braking point at Beacon, and du Toit opening up a big margin now. Ricky Giannacora with Gianni right on his tail. Gianni's come through the field rapidly. It looks like Gianni Giannacora will be fighting with his brother for the second step of the podium. The two G&H boys going at it. Look at this. Absolutely brilliant. M3 GTR taking on the 135i, and here they go side by side across the line, heading down towards Potters. Who's going to have what it takes on the brakes? Well, this is a lift-off on these cars. It's not really braking, and then it's back on the loud pedal. And Ricky hangs on for now. Gianni, I think, has got a little bit extra squirt in that car, and probably well to get him down into Cochabana if he opens up the door. There's the Ferrari in full flight as they come out of rifle. Watch out for the two BMs behind. Trans Africa Racing, Silver Dream Racer here out front, doing a great job and making up some ground after some problems in the previous rounds. There's the move for second. Gianni squirts up the inside and gets through. And Ricky Giannacora now going to have to settle for probably third place. I don't think he's going to have an answer to Gianni's pace. Remember, Gianni in a Class A car and that Class B car, the number 75, sitting in third with a little down on power in terms of the car in front of him. Johnny's looking to close down though. He's trying to get to the Ferrari as quickly as he can. And looking at the lap times, he's about 0.3 of a second quicker than the Ferrari in overall laps. Speaking of Ferraris, the third of the G&H cars is right in the mix here, and Jimbo fighting hard with Darren Goodmans. Jimmy Giannacora in that G&H Transport Ferrari trying to keep out Paul Hill. The Calex BMW is back in the hunt, and Hill wants through. Look at that. Thiessen has found a way through on Scribanti. Du Toit watching from the back and looking to try and get up there. Here comes Paul Hill on the inside of Jimbo. Can he squeeze past? Yes, he can. Paul Hill in the Calex BMW just gets past the Ferrari, but he may run a little bit wide. That allowed Jimmy Giannacora to come back at him. Oh, he makes a mistake. He gets it out of shape. I was going to say, Jimbo was about to cut up the inside. Fortunately, he saw the spinning BMW, and Paul Hill has made a big mistake there. So Jimbo hangs on now, ahead of Thiessen, Scribanti, and Du Toit. Great to see Aldo back in a car, and that car, of course, the ex-Michael Stephen championship-winning production car that he's fighting with. Checkered flag is on standby, and looks like Gianni's just going to lose out here. He needed probably 2 or 3 more laps just to make up that little bit of ground you can see between the Class A Plus car, that is the Ferrari of Jonathan du Toit, who is going to take the overall victory here. He'll take the class win though, and so will Gianni, even though he finished second overall on track. And in fact, the first 3 cars across the line are going to be finishing up in first place in their respective classes as well. Flag is out, Du Toit takes it. Du Toit wins out ahead of Gianni Giannacora. Ricky Giannacora comes through for third place, winning out the Class B battle. Darren Goodman's a great job there. He also wins out Class C ahead of Jimmy Giannacora, Hill, Scribanti and Thiessen. We caught up with Jimbo, find out how that race was.
Very good, I really enjoyed it. Really, the guys, we had a good, nice gentleman racing today. I was very happy with the result, and we hope for the next race to be in the same order.
A little bit of work to do on that Calex BMW. I'm not quite sure what the issue was there. Hopefully Paul Hill will get it sorted and be able to run a little bit closer to the front end. Lights are on. There's a big mist that's come over the circuit now for the second race of the day, and Gianni has dropped the hammer. He's not worried about the mist. He heads down. How do you see where you're going? This is the onboard from Ricky Jonakara's point of view. The GNH Transport BMW heading into Potter's Pass, into the mist. And look how difficult it's going to be for these guys to fight out in these conditions. Wow, some lights on, some lights off. A couple of drivers going to have to use those clear visors if they are running full faces. Otherwise, they're going to just make sure that those windscreens don't mist up too badly. Hard on the brakes down into Cochabana. And remember, this circuit with Cochabana and its layout has been around since about 1934. And they used to run South African Grand Prix here as well. So it's certainly seen its days of fast cars and extreme supercars now in the house, with Gianni Jonakara pulling away from Jonathan du Toit. Ricky Jonakara sitting in third place, so pretty much the same suspects at the front end. And looking to see if Paul Hill is going to be a little bit closer this time. He is. He's sitting in fourth place, not too far off the back end, and almost in the clutches of Ricky Jonakara. Jimbo hangs on ahead and looks like he might be able to keep it all together ahead of Aldo Scribanti, and Thiessen fighting hard. Ricky Jonakara, this is a great view. He'll come out of the mist now into the sunset up towards Beacon, so very tricky conditions in terms of the light. And it will definitely affect the ability of these cars to get around the circuit. Although, if you look at the lap times, it's going to be incredible to see what they can do, because now the cooler air is definitely going to help these engines out. Across the line, let's have a look at that lap time. Gianni Jonakara down into the 23s. So he is not holding anything back here and trying the best he can to get away from that Ferrari. That is a Class A car taking on a Class A plus machine. Then it's Class B, and the two Class B cars fighting hard. Paul Hill, he is looking for an opportunity to get up there into third place overall and second in the Class A category. Oh, here comes Du Toit. Du Toit looks determined. He's certainly not going to let Gianni get away with this one. He wants to make a bit of a dice of it. And he's now looking for a chance to find just a little bit of a maneuver to pass that fast BMW out front. Coming out of Cochabana, Jimbo Jonakara hangs on ahead of Scribanti. Darren Goodman's not having quite the run he wanted. He's got to find a way through on Scribanti. He goes alongside him. And the Simola machine looking to go past that Audi, and looks like he's done it relatively easily. Good driving there from Darren Goodman's. Probably a little bit of local track knowledge will help him out here. But I say that Scribanti's probably had a lot of time in this circuit as well. But it's great to have him now part of the Extreme Supercar field. And we hope to see that Audi heading up to the north very soon as we get to Swartkops for the next round. Hard on the brakes, and once again, defensive driving coming out of Jonakara. Look at that Ferrari all over the back of him. Gianni is having to work here. It's not going to be an easy day in the saddle for him. And you can see the mist is lifted ever so slightly. Oh, there's a problem. The Ferrari's slowing. The Ferrari is slowing as the mist lifts, and the prancing horse is parked on the sideline. Ricky Jonakara will be elated about that. He now moves up into second place overall, but if he looks in his rearview mirrors, Paul Hill is not too far off the back of him. And it looks like he's going to have to work just as hard as what his brother was doing to keep the Ferrari out, to keep Hill out in the Calax BMW. Down onto the breakers and almost into the breakers there, because the beachfront, of course, is only about 100 meters away from this point. And Ricky Jonakara, yes, indeed, has got a big fight on his hands. Jimmy Jonakara looking to retake it. In fact, Darren Goodman has found a way past on the Ferrari. Looking at that, they've changed things up there on those three. And it looks like it might be a battle for fourth place between those three as they come to the final lap here. Checkered flag is waiting. Gianni's done it all right. Taking it relatively easily across the line, but he knows he's got a little bit of time in hand. His brother didn't have quite the amount of time in hand, and he's stoked about it. You can see, happy about the victory there. Gianni Jonakara wins out over his brother Ricky. Paul Hill in third. Then Darren Goodman's beat out Jimmy Jonakara, Scribanti, Thiessen, and Du Toit. Let's find out from Gianni how that first win feels.
Finally, we got luck back on our side, after a breakage yesterday, got the car back up and running, and flag to flag win, Jono put up a good fight. It kept me honest at sometimes, but we managed to go faster in the race than we did in qualifying, and I'm super stoked. My car's run well, my team's been behind me. East London, my favorite.